the enrollment of boys has declined from the very beginning. Let's say about 5 years ago, we would probably take in an almost equal number of boys and girls. But by the end of their 4-year cycle, there'd be a noticeable disparity between how many boys we still have and how many girls. And we tried our best to adjust to that, but it is now true that the number of boys we take in are significantly less. Like this present first form, we have 182 students, 79 are boys out of that 182, which means that the girls are way above 103 or something like that. Last year's fourth form, if we could look at the comparison, numbered 125, and of that, 36 were boys.
Presently, we have something like 56% of our student body that is female, and about 43 males.
Despite the programs.
Despite the programs. Okay. Despite the programs. I don't know. You say before, I think our school was a school that dealt with discipline, a whole lot of discipline. And I guess that's the reason why we had more males at that time.
We start losing our boys from standard 3. That is where it begins. Standard
so they
3.
don't transition.
Right. And so that's the pre-adolescent and adolescent, pre-puberty and puberty years.
The program we offer is not attractive to boys. A lot of the boys fit into what we have because there's nothing else. But when they're in the class, you could see clearly, even the POB or the social studies, whatever it is they're doing, it's by, oh well, let me try, you know. Whereas when they're in art and TD, you get a lot more animation and involvement. They are back there 5 o'clock doing TD and art.
We lack male role models. And so one of the things we have done is to consciously, over the past 3 years, hire more male teachers. And it is difficult to find them to begin with. Because the statistics will show that in the classroom, at all levels, the female population of teachers is high compared to the definitely. And so that's one of the ways we have tried to look and solve this problem in trying to get us, or to reduce or to improve the statistics. We have also had, I've also looked at the aspect of single parents. A lot of our single parents, and usually it is the mother who is in charge of these children, and especially our boys, they tend to put a block towards females. And being a male principal, I try to, as much as possible, do as much as I can and to show them and to enable them to, or to show them a way that nowhere else you will find but at school. And the society doesn't help us.
Parents can be innovative. There's an uncle, there's a godfather. Let them play the role, because I think mothers raise boys and do a very good job. What I have now implemented in some of the primary schools where I work is this program called Boys en Masse.
Oh, okay.
And that is when they tell you every single thing. I mean, they would break down and they would cry. And they would tell you that nobody listens to them.
We are happy with the little boys when they entertain us. They are the center of attention. Oh, they do flips and they show off and everybody claps, and yes, he's cute. Even when he might go over line, well, you see, you think it's a man, you know. We actually almost encourage it. And then all of a sudden you get to high school and the teacher says, now sit down
Keep quiet.
and keep quiet and stop being the center of attention. No, we have this boy, for being the center of attention, all of a sudden he can't be. And we actually put a penalty on it. You know how many students come to me for behaviors that I actually have to look back and say, Was it really that bad? We had a professional development session one year, and we made a conscious commitment to try to make our teaching approach be more reflective of the fact that there are boys and girls in the class. Allow for the little grandstanding a little bit. Don't let them get overboard with it, but give them that attention. They feed on it. And so we introduced a system a few years ago where for every subject, when you give a test, recognize the highest scoring male and the highest scoring female.
When drugs became popular in Belize, it clearly affected the male population, right? So the drugs, and that led to the crime, right? Which is statistics show right there in our prisons. And so these are things that we need to seriously address. And I applaud the efforts of ENDA, but I think that is just the tip of the iceberg. We need to go deeper and invest more in really trying to get rid of this drug problem. And that will obviously assist our students.
The ones that have the marijuana problems, the ones that have problems at home, the counselor works very closely with the boys to make sure that they are in tune with what is happening in the society. When I went there, we had a lot of problems so far as the males were concerned, the gang issue. And I can see that today we have few students who show it very, very openly. They might be in the gang, but they don't really show it.
So it's better?
Very much so. And I take away all the rags, the black rags, the every color is an indication of gang as far as I know. And they are making a conscious effort to do what they have to do to be a part of UNICEF.
Affirmation. They have seen where they are affirmed in what they do. The girls take time, take pride in their appearance, and they get good comments and are praised for it. And when they leave school, when they leave primary and go to the secondary school, they are rewarded. The amount of cell phones and trips to the US and all the rewards that these girls get. And then when they leave from there, they get good jobs.
From their babies, they're nurtured and they're groomed and directed into or sent into that direction. Education is important if you want to have a good job, a good life, all of that. And so all through growing up, they're hearing it and they're being treated special.
There was a time when girls were at risk just like this. In fact, girls didn't even get to go to high school.
Exactly.
When you finished primary school, you went to learn how to cook and find a man, a husband, right?
That's in the house.
We made a conscious decision as a society
To invest in girls.
to invest in girls. And in doing that, unfortunately, we forgot that we had to keep up the investment in boys. One of the major ways we can use to counteract this trend is to consciously say, the boys need us.
I think one way that we can assist our males is by introducing more sports programs that will help to kind of develop their self-esteem and all that.
If what we see today is the truth, and we all agree there are fewer boys that are not passing, then the co-ed schools are not serving the needs of the boys. Maybe it is time for us to look at the option.
We need to be there for our boys, we need to support them, we need to walk with them every step of the way. Make sure that they know that we are with them.